Good morning, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Tom Coates. For those who have not been here before, this is the welcome to the Richmond, Central Virginia Community, Ions Community Group. This is the first or second presentation of our 30th year. We got started in January 1996. It's been going ever since without a break, even for COVID, which we're very proud of. And I think we're the only group on the planet that managed to pull off that. And anyway, I guess they create some level of distinction. And IONS, for those who may not know, stands for Institute of Noetic Sciences. It's an organization that was founded in 1973 by Edgar Mitchell. Edgar Mitchell was the lunar landing module pilot for Apollo 14, and as like some of those fellows who had the privilege to walk on the moon back in the Apollo days, he had a takeaway from it, and his was a unity consciousness experience that occurred to him on his way back to Earth when he looked through the porthole of the Apollo craft and saw the Earth as a pale blue dot off in space, and decided right then and there that he wanted to dedicate the rest of his life to the exploration of consciousness, especially the interface between science and spirit. And IONS was created as a vehicle for that endeavor, and it still exists today, and we're very pleased to be a small part of it. We in this group exist only on the support of our members, both in person and online, and also through contributions of our members. And so we will pass during the meeting of what now has come down to the Tibetan bowl for making donations into, and we ask that you reach into your wallet, and where the deepest part of your wallet intersects with the deepest level of your heart, that's what should be given for the day, and that has been getting us by for the last 30 years, and we're very, very grateful and blessed for having been able to survive that way. What else? Susanna Calvert has an announcement that she's online today.
Hi, everybody. So I'm here to just invite you to an event or a series that Sanctuary of Earth is having. We are a program and educational partner with the Richmond Ions Community Group. We have started a relatively new series called Gather, the second and fourth Sundays at 1:30 p.m. by Zoom. It is here because we are in tumultuous times, and for us to become may require a deeper practice. And so the event is called Gather, Learn, Heal, and Become, because we also know that learning is just the start of our becoming process. We need to embody it. So we're going to be spending most of the Gather time in practice, learning new practices, discussing them, and just a little bit of time on the what is this and why does it matter. So our next Gather session is Sunday, February 23rd at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's on Embodiment 101, Reconnect with the Wisdom of Your Body. And our speaker is Megan Hansen, who's formerly of Central Virginia, but is now in Costa Rica. And she's going to help guide us to move from intuition into intuition rather than thought, embracing authenticity through sensation and presence. So it'll be a great program. And I will also continue to give away a free 30-minute one-on-one session with me for healing and or a reading. So you can register at sanctuaryoferarth.org. If you are already on the mailing list, you should have gotten a notice for this. If you'd like to be added to the mailing list, if you're in the Zoom room, please put your email in the chat. Thank you, everybody. Hope to see you then.
Thank you, Susanna. One thing I neglected to mention is that for those who have not been here before, and there may be some people in the room who have not been and are not on our mailing list. If you would like to be on our mailing list and get our monthly flyer, there's a sheet out in the hallway, on the table in the hallway, where you can sign up, and by doing that, you'll become you'll be a member of our group, in that you'll get a monthly flyer telling you what our monthly programs are, and we usually, unless there's some special event, only send out the one email a month, so you won't be deluged with daily emails from us, like some places you sign up can cause. And so I want to make one quick announcement for those who may not have heard of this. Many of us are familiar with the Cryon entity that has been channeled for about 30 years, and there have been a dozen or more books of Cryon channelings. And one thing Cryon's been saying consistently for the last at least 20 years is that the next great wave of technological innovation was going to come out of Africa. This has been poo-pooed by many people, but in recent times, a fellow named Maxwell Chikumbutso in Zimbabwe has invented a car, or a power system, that runs off of what they call microsonic energy. It's actually, he's harnessing radio waves that are just ambient in the air. And he drops out of school at age 14. He has no education beyond 8th grade, but he has a genius mind and a persistent nature. He's about in his early 40s now, and he tried to get backing in the United States. He came here in the late 19 teens during the first Trump administration. Went to Silicon Valley with a research partner. In appropriate Putin-esque style, both he and his partner were poisoned in an attempt to kill them while they were there. His partner died. He survived the experience and has not come back to the United States since then. But he got backing from the Chinese, and his car is now in production in Zimbabwe. And it will become, it's a free energy device that has been, many of which have been invented over the last century, since starting with Tesla in about 1910. And all have been suppressed, and many of the inventors have been disposed of by killing them. So hopefully he will be protected well enough to get this going, and if he is, it will change the world as we know it in ways that we can hardly imagine at this point. So, okay. That's I just thought everybody should know about that, because it's coming, and there are a lot of vested interests, especially in the electric car area, that would not like to see it not happen. Now, today we are blessed, like we have been blessed month after month for these 30 years almost, with a wonderful presenter named Kimberly Barrett. Kimberly has been, as set up in the flyer, has been communicating with spirit, with ETs and so forth throughout her life. About 10 or 15 years ago, she started getting more highly activated, and has been channeling what she refers to with blue star celestial energy. She'll tell us what that is. I don't have a clue, but it sounds pretty exotic to me. And she is, well, I met her the first time at Carol's Spirit Mind Body, a meeting a couple of years ago, I think, and was so impressed I wanted her to be a speaker for us. She's now living up in Northern Virginia and has driven down here this morning just for this purpose. And so without further ado, and she's going to do the opening meditation for the group. Without further ado, I give you Kimberly Barrett. Thank you very much, Kimberly.
Short. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kimberly. And Thank you, Tom, and thank you for having me here. It is always a privilege and an honor to speak anywhere. I was tapping in with my inner child not too long ago, and I was laughing because apparently my higher power wants me to be out public speaking with a lot of people. And the good news about that for me is that I've always loved being on stage as a child. And so I'm grateful to be here. I don't know why I needed to say that other than my 8-year-old is really active right now. So if you get some childlike innocence, there's a reason for that. I teach channeling, I teach mediumship, I teach a lot of things. I have Starseed gatherings with people online, and I am a psychic medium. I do a lot of quantum level healing and activations. I had a friend describe to me that part of the activations is we are energy. We are energy beings that are infinite and unlimited. That is the oneness quality of all of us. And a piece of that, and I'm going to do meditation right first before we get into everything. So I will walk us through a meditation before we get into everything. But my guides are coming in strong with this, that we are infinite, immaculate, powerful, unlimited energy projecting out into this earth environment. And I know that my guides are going to talk a little bit about that, and also about my concept on starseeds and what a starseed is. And the big word I keep getting, or the statement is, now is the time. And Tom was talking about that, now is the time. So let's do a meditation. It always helps this vessel, Kimberly, to ground. I have some disclaimers with it. Set your intention for what you're wanting to receive. I'm going to bring in the Council of Light. They are part of the galactic track here on Earth and the galactic track in this universe. They help in a whole lot of ways and are moving forward, and it is one of my chief groups of ETs that come in to assist us. And so I'm going to tap into them. They're going to walk us through a meditation. Set your intention if you're willing to receive. It includes activations. So if you feel like you are wanting to receive any type of activations for you, know that sacred space has been created, and my team asks you to individually set an intention to create sacred space for yourself right now. Just intend and work with your spirit team to create a sacred space. And then we're going to go into the meditation. Set your intention to ground. You're going to feel your feet on the ground, feel your bottom in the seat. Hear what you can hear. If your eyes are open, you'll see what you can see. And if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in light and breathing out everything that no longer serves you, and allow it to come out of your feet. Again, breathing in light like a wave, and allow it to cleanse everything in your energy, blowing it out and releasing it out of your feet. We did create a portal so that it can go there. It's not going to hurt the earth when you release it out. And then set your intention to ground and connect and become centered with Earth Mother Gaia. You can use childlike visualization and imagination to imagine that there is an energy cord coming from your root chakra deep down into the earth. And that's going to go all the way down into Earth Mother Gaia's center of the earth. You can imagine that there's a beautiful crystal there that contains all the divine light and love. And you can draw up that divine light and that divine love into your root chakra, opening, clearing, and activating the root chakra. Coming up into the sacral and the navel. It's going to balance yin and yang energies and also open, clear, and activate the sacral and navel. Coming up into the solar plexus, opening, clearing, activating solar plexus. Coming up into the heart chakra, opening, clearing, activating heart chakra. And in the heart chakra, you can also set an intention if you are so wanting to do this. So remember, there's always free will, is to be able to clear out some of the back of the heart chakra. That's where all those core beliefs that you have picked up along the way, learned, programming, all of those type of things. You can set your intention to release any and all core beliefs and core programs that are no longer serving your highest and best, no longer serving the highest and best for the all, and just intend a release. And the same thing with the upper heart chamber, to clear out anything and everything that's standing in the way of your ability to fully be the creator. So we're going to clear and release anything standing in the way of you being the creator as you move forward. And then you can set your intention to send all of that beautiful light and beautiful love out into your whole body, and send that out into your whole aura. And it's going to go through all dimensions, time, space, and realities. Then you can bring that energy up to the throat chakra, opening, clearing, and activating, up into the third eye, opening, clearing, and activating. It will also increase, clear, declutter, open, clear, and activate the pineal gland. And then coming up into the crown chakra, opening, clearing, and activating the crown chakra. And then from above, there is a soul star chakra 6 to 12 inches above your head. That is your connection to the multi-dimensional realities in conjunction with your third eye and your heart chakra. So from that soul star, set your intention to receive any and all energies that are meant for you in this now time space reality. Those of you who would like to be activated a little further, we can open the soul star chakra and bring in any and all energies from the multi-dimensional realities that you are meant to bring in for you in this now time space reality, to activate into all of your energies that you have chosen for this lifetime moving forward. All the way up to the stellar gateway. Archangel Metatron is there watching over, along with Archangel Sandalphon. And you can bring in any of the core divine light energy from the all that is that you are ready to receive at this time, activating you into the trueness of your energy. So bringing all those energies into the crown chakra, we're going to activate, and we use the words from Kimberly's memory bank of encoding into the crown chakra. We're going to go into the third eye, activate and encoding. Bringing that into the throat chakra, make sure that anytime you bring any new downloads and energies in, that you're going to bring it all the way down into the earth. So bring that into the throat chakra, activate and encode, bringing that into the upper heart chamber, and then the rest of the heart chakra, activate and encode, spreading that out throughout the whole body, including DNA and all empty spaces, activate and encode, spread it out into the aura, activate and encode. bringing that into the solar plexus, activating and encoding, bringing that into the navel and the sacral, activate and encode, coming down into the root chakra, activating and encoding, and then sending all of that down 6 to 12 inches under your feet. That is the Earth Star chakra, grounding yourself more with the earth and Middle Earth, activate and encode, clearing ancestry lines with divine light, and then coming all the way down into Earth Mother Gaia's gateway, activating all those beautiful energies into the earth. And we're going to come back up into the heart chakra and embody into your own energy to sit in the seat of your power. Set your intention to connect in with your vibration frequency that is meant for you, that you brought in with you to play the role of you in this life. Drawing all of your energies back in through the crown chakra, into the heart, and seeing that beautiful white light start to fill up your heart. This is your energy, your vibration, your frequency. We can clear off everyone else's energies, send divine light through any and all cords and any and all ribbons. Anyone that's been thinking about you or you've been thinking about them, if you're connected to social media or any other energies, sending beautiful divine love to all of those beings. And then releasing, set your intention to release any and all cords and threads that are no longer serving you and no longer serving your mission on this earth, releasing them all off of you. For those of you that are caregivers of young children, you can leave a beautiful divine love light energy connected to them. Pull your energy off of everyone else right now and come just into your own vibration frequency in your heart, feeling that energy fill up, pulling all of your energies back from any place that it is just for a moment. And then spread that energy out throughout your whole body, embodying your body with just your vibration and frequency. Spreading that out throughout your aura, just your vibration and frequency. And just for a moment, sit in the seat of your own power. This is your vibration frequency you brought in interdimensionally to play the role of you. The last thing that will walk us through is oneness. So coming back into your heart chakra, you can reconnect to any energies that you feel called to reconnect to. And imagining that there's a beautiful divine white light 100 feet above you, bringing that through the crown chakra and into the heart. This is the oneness energy, divine light and love. Spread that throughout your body. Spread that throughout your aura. We're going to spread that out throughout the whole room. Spread it out throughout the whole building. Spread it out throughout Richmond or wherever you are, the state that you're in. Spread that out throughout the country that you live in. Spread that out throughout the continent that you are on. Spread that beautiful oneness, divine light, and love energy throughout the whole planet. And even a little past into the aura. And sit for a moment and knowing what it feels like to be in the oneness, to be connected to everything and all. The all of everything and the nothing of everything all at once. And then bring yourself back in, coming back into the planet, coming all the way back in to the room, back into your heart, and all the way back into the body. Wiggling fingers and toes. Make sure you come all the way back into your body. My guides are like, and now we can begin. Open your eyes, ground with the 5 senses back into your human body. Some of you might have left with me. We were not here anymore. All right. So I asked my guides to speak through me, so I am bringing in the Council of Light. When you have questions, I'm going to attempt to step my ego aside as much as possible, the human part of Kimberly Barrett, so that I can answer questions with the Council of Light, bringing those messages in. So my disclaimer is this is the words used according to Kimberly and also according to the Council of Light that I channel in. And now is the time. Now is the time to step forward. From my understanding, you can't get in, and this is Dolores Cannon, so I can reference a few things. The raw materials with the Law of One, Dolores Cannon and all of her work with quantum hypnosis and past life and just tapping into the big energies. She had a lot to say. Cryon, I've read a ton of Cryon books and definitely listened to Cryon, and Cryon's been bringing in a lot of messages. Some people, not everyone, resonate with Bashar. It depends on what track you're on. If you're on a galactic track, you're going to hear a lot of the Bashar materials. If you're not, it might not resonate with you. Anything that comes out of this vessel's mouth today, take what you like, leave the rest. Remember that there is a collective that is being channeled for. So not all messages are directly for you, only take what resonates and leave the rest. So my guides are saying you can't get into Earth School without having been somewhere, right? Because Earth School is a pretty tough school for a lot of us. We were first wave or second wave volunteers, and so we came in through what they call the veil of forgetting, right? You come in, you completely forget who you are, and then you've got to work your way into remembering. There's a lot of babies and children being born today, whom I have met actually, who do not have that huge veil of forgetting on them, and you will see that. They are wide awake, they are very aware, and they are very wise. I have a lot of respect for the children that are coming in today. I met a 12-year-old that is super wise, right? And I've met some 3-year-olds who actually telepathically communicated with me. And I found that really, well, he was 2.5, and I found that really amazing. Already knew how. I think a lot of us came in that way, and then we were trained out of it, right? So to me, Starseed is any and all of us and everything on Earth is kind of a starseed in a way. What I mean by starseed is that you have awakened to the memories of having been in other systems, particularly other systems that are on the galactic track or on the angelic track for some people. Most of us on that galactic track, and the galactic track is what most humans call aliens and ETs. My guides don't really like those words. They find alien kind of disparaging and not very kind. You know, the definition for some people. I also have information in my mind, and you'll see me shift from channeling to my ego. My ego just stepped in. I do have some information as well from Stephen Greer. If you haven't watched it, there's a really great movie that is Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. So anyone that's on galactic track, it's a really great information storehouse. Again, use your discernment, only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. That's a huge thing from the Council of Light, is that one of the things that we set up on Earth is for it to be a place of massive diversity. And what you will find energetically is that not everyone is in the exact same vibration and frequency. We came here to meet other energies that are in other vibrations and frequencies and exchange information and learn and teach from each other in the grand scheme of things. This is also a tough school, not only the veil of forgetting, it was also created time and space reality, which a lot of the Milky Way and a lot of what Kimberly calls the Alpha Quadrant was created with. That we created form, we created a way that we could interact with each other as if it was actually happening. You think this table is real, right? All of this feels so real. And yet quantum physics is showing us that everything's energy. And it's amazing to me in 1925 that, and I get excited because it was a female, Elizabeth Shovel-Shin, way back then, 1925 was channeling the metaphysics in about how this earth works, the game of life, and how to play it. Everything was created from thought. Some type of conscious thought created that, then it created that, then it created that, then it created that. The Council of Light tends to bring things in on a level that is almost like a 6th grade level so that everyone can understand it. So it's not going to be high level scientific evidence, although we could send you to all the books that have a lot of that information in it. With Starseeds, what I love with Starseeds is that you have memories of having been in other systems. You have brought those codes in and those memories in for purpose. So for Kimberly has been water on the earth, has been horse, has been white Bengal tiger, and for whatever reason brought those energies in. Has also been in fairy realms and has brought those energies in. The Starseed piece is Lyris, is all of the what we call Galactic Federation of Light, which is here to assist the planet. So a lot of Starseeds have come in as volunteers, right? That they have been already through in other systems. When you're the volunteer, you've been in other systems where you've been through this massive paradigm shift. And so you're here to assist. And when you wake up to who you truly are and what energies you've really brought in with you, and you become more and more authentic, and you start to stand in your own energy and see everything as energy and remember what you brought in with you, that's when a lot of things shift. You remember you are a creator here. You're creating. So as a starseed, there's a lot of memories with Pleiades, with Sirius, Vega system, Arcturian. Kimberly has recently discovered Arcturian as a piece of it and memories of having been there. There are other starseeds that have come in with many different things to bring forward for us. And I have a couple of them who are on the galactic track, and they do galactic Akashic readings. So they can look in and tell you where you've been, tell you what energies you're bringing in. The main thing is to tap in within yourself. So when you can come to that full mindful awareness, full presence in the moment, and tap into your void energy, you can tap in and see what energies you've brought in with you. And so as a starseed, you will have those encoded memories on how to do that. You'll start to wake up to them. You'll start to realize it. And then we go into what Kimberly calls the 3 eyes. We become inspired. We set intention. I intend to tap more into my starseed within my memories. It's asking, all right, inner self, show me. Then you get what's called intuition. All humans have that intuitive ability. All humans have the ability to have the inner knowing. What is shifting in the paradigm shift is to shift into that place where we're trusting our inner knowing. A lot of the children that are being born today are very wise. They have chosen parents who nurture their knowing. Imagine that, being nurtured in your knowing, right? They nurture the intuition, they intuitively parent. And so as each of us move forward, we're going to shift into a lot of new. The Galactic Council and the Council of Light are bringing all of this in because we're getting ready to shake, rattle, and roll in the human 3D stories. And as Tom mentioned, my team was so excited when Tom was sharing the story about the new cars that are coming, and some of us are charged with holding the light. Holding the light means that you stay out of any and all dualistic, polarized topics, and you stay holding the vision of the new earth that you would like to see come in. Not everyone is charged with holding the light. There are other friends of mine that I call grays, and they're not grays as in like gray beings. So let's give them a different name, right? They walk in the light and they hold the light, but they're also clearing the density. They're doing a lot of work on the earth, behind the scenes, in their meditations, in healing work on other people. So if you're a healer, you're probably seeing a lot of this. They're doing the shadow work and they're clearing the dense energies out of the earth in whatever way that comes. And so there's different tracks you can go down on the earth. We are all oneness. We also chose to come to Earth School or Earth, Planet Earth game or whatever you want to call it. And then you choose what track you want to go down. Some people chose a more human track. That doesn't mean that you're not waking up and that that's not high level energy. What that means is that you're more concerned about being the human being and clearing out the shadows and doing shadow work and healing traumas and very much focused on the human aspects of being, right? There's also the angelic track, and I'll shout out for Ellen Malloy, who is Reiki with Angels. She's on this massive angel track. She's fully connected to them. You know, if you work with angels and archangels, they're with you all the time. A lot of times when you work with angels and archangels, you're also working with fairies and elementals and the rest of them. And then there are starseeds here who are on the galactic track. Galactic track is, for some people, you're going to have first contact in about 100 years. That's the track that people are on. There are others that are going to have first contact a lot sooner than that, right? So there's first contact where you go in and you're connecting with the beings that have been created in the universe that are actually in form and can interact with us in many different ways, particularly in the quantum field, with quantum time bending, quantum leaps, quantum understanding. When you study quantum physics, you'll start to understand that more and more, and you'll start to understand that you can play this game on this massive multi-dimensional bigger level. Not bigger, but not better, just a different level. And so there are some people, and Bashar followers are a lot of these people, Stephen Greer followers are a lot of these people. First contact's going to happen a lot sooner. And a lot of starseeds are being guided on how to get there. What to do energetically within our individual selves in order to prepare, be in preparation for that first contact. At the same time, there is in the game that we're playing on Earth since the 1930s, a lot of energies that were teaching us and programming us. My guides like to bring this through in a loving way, teaching us and programming us to be fearful of galactics. Anyone that has that starseed energy and that galactic track, even the angelic track, you know, the more you awaken, you know, that the light and the love is more powerful than anything. And that human beings are more powerful than you've been sold or given. Kimberly feels like she's speaking to the choir here in this room with all of that. You are awakened. You may not think you're where you're supposed to be, but you are awakened. You are the front line. You are the ones stepping forward. You are the ones that for many of you for years, you've been saying, hello, hello, your thoughts create your reality. And yet this is a place where we know metaphysically our thoughts create our reality. We've known that for years and years and years. We've known that since before Kimberly was born in 1970. We've known that. And yet it took until recently for scientists to catch up. And I don't remember their names, you'll have to look it up, but there was a study, lots of studies done, and scientists proved with quantum physics, scientifically, that your thoughts create reality. Aren't we happy science is finally catching up to us? That is what Cryon said as well, that science will catch up. The galactic light and the Council of Light would like all of you to know that absolutely we have enough light on the earth to where all of it is shifting and all of it is going to eventually go into the light and go into a new earth. What you want that to look like is entirely up to you. So holding the light for the starseeds that I work with is about tapping into, clearing, releasing, doing all the work from within to tap into the energies within you. And we're talking starseeds today, particularly starseeds, who have brought in energies from Pleiades and from Alpha Centauri and from Sirius, and I call it the Big Dipper. There's also beings that have brought in from Mars and Venus and Saturn and just a lot of different energies. Mercury, you're going to see some, there's also the different tracks of coming in, whether you're going to be super intellectually bringing in new technologies, because we are in the age of Aquarius, and the coming out of the Bronze Age into the Silver Age, and eventually the Golden Age. And yet, as a starseed, the main message that comes through, one is now is the time to really do the work within you to get in alignment with your vibration frequency. If you study other materials, which we have in the data banks of Kimberly's mind, of Brian Scott bringing through the reality revolution, and it's not from Brian Scott, it's from all the books he has read that you can check out. There are many others out there who are bringing this information in, Lori Ladd, brings in galactic fleet of light, that we are creating this. What do you want it to look like? You brought in codes with you. This is an exciting time. And in the universe, we've never been here before. We are creating something brand new. And if you take a step even further, we are going to create in another new universe from what we create here in this one. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be different. It's going to be something unfathomable, if that is a direction that you want to go in. We're changing everything. Kimberly works in end-of-life care in a lot of ways. Certified death doula, expert in end-of-life, and also Starseed. And so starting to bring in new messages around, you know, that system we have set up on the other side for crossing over? That's going to change. It's going to be easier. It's going to be a personal choice. You get to stay here longer if you'd like to. Some of you are proving that now, embodied in bodies that don't look their age, embodied in bodies that are healthy and continuing to be healthy, getting younger and younger as you go. Those things are going to come out, and we're going to embrace it. Give it time, because that is how it works in time-space reality, right? Give it the time. It's actually all happening all at once. It is oneness. It is collapsed. There is no time. Many of you know that. There really is no time. And yet that is multidimensionally, interdimensionally. We drop in through the interdimensional field. We decide who we're going to be. We decide how we're going to play the game energetically. And then we collapse down into a time-space reality. The nice thing about the new energies is that you get to change your past and get on a different timeline. You get to hold the vision of what you want it to look like and get on that energy. You can shift anything at any time. And then have grace for yourself if you get caught up in those old beliefs. They're deeply ingrained. They're easy to release and yet hard to release. Some of it's there for purpose. That was a channeling where Kimberly stepped aside almost completely. So if it was meant for you, receive it. If it was not meant for you, it wasn't. We forgot to have someone raise the hand when it gets close to time, right? I don't know how long I've gone. I do want to open up with the Council of Light and the Galactic Fleet of Light being here at will. This is the part where I have to take a deep breath, or I get to take a deep breath. We're going to shift that. Choosing to take a deep breath, set my ego aside. Does anyone have any questions for the Council of Light at this time?
What's the take on what's happening in the current administration in Washington now?
I'm going to set my ego aside on that one. Hold on a moment. It gets loaded because it is in some ways a topic that can become very polarized. And for Kimberly, it depends on which town she's in, on which side it's polarized on, right? They're bringing Cryon of magnetic service in. It's cracking me up. And so Cryon's answer is the current political system in the United States is broken. And at the same time, you have catalysts in there that are shining light. We don't have to like the catalyst. You realize that, right? When they're a number 5 and they're Gemini and they're, all that, you don't have to like them. But what they're doing is they're shining light on a lot of the brokenness. And then there's also brokenness in the people that are shining the light. And so as a starseed who's holding the light, it is hold the vision of what you would like to see happen. And, Cryon cracks me up, and there will be another country that will bring in a brand new political system, and the United States is going to demand it. We're going to demand it. The Council of Light's answer is stay in your light, stay in your discernment. Energy doesn't lie. And remember the both and of everything. They're almost saying like, stand in neutrality, and yet you can still discern what's helpful, what's not, what's effective, what's not. What is meant to happen energetically, and this is the Council of Light bringing this in energetically, is there's a lot of systems that are going to fall apart. A lot of systems are going to fall apart. How do I stay safe in that? Because that's a lot of human, right? How do I stay safe in that? How do I keep family safe in that? Safety comes from within you. If you shift your chakras, where your heart chakra stays green, and you flip them to where they're supposed to be. The red, safety, sustenance, and security, comes from above. Right? The orange helps you discern. Right? So instead of that orange creative energy being down in your sexual organs, messing everything up, it's going to be in your third eye, and it's going to help you discern. The throat chakra is going to be blue. Imagine that. Oh, not blue. I'm sorry, yellow. Imagine that. That's why Kimberly had to take a deep breath and step aside. Because what's going to come out of my voice is take what you like, leave the rest. Take what resonates with you. And the truth coming through me right now is this. And that's how you're going to speak, is from your truth. My truth doesn't have to be your truth. Both and. I'm right and you're right. What is a theme for all of us? We want peace. In the new energies, what do we want? Communication, collaboration, cooperation. We don't see that in the current anything, right? We're creating it. If you step out of that arena and into the things happening on the earth and really see a lot of it, you're going to see a ton of shift happening. And it is what was talked about earlier, where there are going to be inventions that are going to happen anyway. That freedom of speech is going to stay there anyway. You're going to demand it, right? And the Council of Light comes back all the time to your power is within you to create the earth that you want to see. If you want to see cooperation, collaboration, contentment, compassion, it comes from within you. You fill your cup up in that heart chakra, and then you release out the overflow to everyone around you. If you are a first wave volunteer, you paved the way with that. Thank you. We bow to you, we kiss your feet. If you're a second wave volunteer, you've been holding the light, and you have an energy like Kimberly does, that when the energy steps in the room, it spreads all over everyone, and it spreads that love and light on everyone in the room. And yet, like Dolores Cannon says, we don't like people. Because growing up, we saw the stuff that happens here on Earth. And yet the Council of Light shows, why is that there? Contrast. There's a lot of other deeper reasons that we don't need to get into because we want to hold the light here. If you want to go down a rabbit hole, you can do that. Just remember to bring yourself back into light when you come out of it, right? But that's what they're showing, is that we're going to shift eventually into a brand new energy. The way to stay safe is to follow your intuition, set your intentions, stand in your knowing, speak your truth, and you will know what to do. Even if it means doing a sit-in. Does that make sense to everyone? Even if it means stepping out, like Kimberly's going to do, and creating a TV show about end-of-life care, and imagine the possibilities if all of these type of things are true. What would it look like at end of life if it's true that you create your reality? Think about that. And so we're going to step out with our voices. A lot of you that might be first wave volunteers, Starseeds that came in really early, right? When it's really dense, the veil is lifted. Does that answer it some? Yeah. That was Kim getting her ego out of the way. Go ahead. Shake it out.
Hi, my name is Martha. What does your tribe, the
Council of Light.
Council of Light,
That's what I
so-
call them. I don't know if that's what they are, but Council of Light.
that works. Do they know anything about med beds? You hear about med beds all the time, and I'm just wondering if they know anything about that, and how do we know if we need a med bed, and how do we know if we just need to heal ourselves?
Oh, I love the concept of med beds. So again, it's energy discernment, and I have seen future timelines. So we're going to bring in the Council of Light, and we're going to bring in my spaceship that's above my head, is what I call them, right? And they all come in and they say, I have taken people on meditations where we go into those med beds. And the energies on the other side, I see everything as energy, but the beings, because a lot of people, when I take them there, they see it, will assist in the healing, right? About healing ourselves, it depends on what level of consciousness I'm coming from. If you go into oneness consciousness, you're me and I'm you. We're all each other. Does that make sense? We're all each other. And so, can you heal yourself? 100%. But are you here to play that game, or are you here to play a different game? Right? How are you here to play the game? And so some of us have come in, like Kimberly with the martyr, right? Like the martyr track as well. That means that I insist on experiencing it myself, and then I can help others, because I'm going to share from direct experience. Not everyone comes from that. Kimberly knows some starseeds that heal themselves. They don't go to doctors. They're capable of doing it themselves. And then there's others that we have really great people that can hold your wholeness for you. The Council of Light would like each and every one of you to know that you are already whole and complete. The toughest ones for us as the Council of Light are the ones that have the dissociative personality, as you call it, multiple personality, because the core computer program died somewhere along the way. And so building a new core and bringing it into just the one personality is difficult for them to do, right? Everyone in the room here has that core computer, that core control center within, and then it's how you're playing the game. We've also been deeply programmed to believe a lot of things. Kimberly has some programs running. One of them is, I have to control to stay safe. She's unpacking that one. But we offer that to you. A lot of people have, I have to control to stay safe. What would happen if you just flowed in life? If you knew everything is working for your advantage, Everything is happening for our advantage. Everything is oneness, and it's going to show up in the way we planned it. What would happen with that? Right? What would that look like? What would that look like if we all started jumping on board with that? Right? That's living a life without karma and without fear. Kimberly is on her way to that, not there yet. There's also the program of I'm broken and I can't be fixed. That's a fun one. Comes up. Right? But these are all shadow work. These are all, Kimberly calls them files and programs because when she thinks of her vessel that she's in as a computer program, that this is a hologram, you can look at your hands and look at the people and that we've created this beautiful thing together. Right? So yes, you can heal yourself, and not everyone's on that track. You might be allowing others to heal you to learn new ways to do things, or to learn how to receive. We came here to love and be loved, give and receive, be in relation on earth. Most of us, there are some that haven't, they do it differently. Does that answer it some for you? Yeah.
I just want to know when the med beds are going to show up.
Oh, and the med beds. That's a clearer question. When you go into meditation, when you set your intention, you can access med beds already. Creating them into reality, my guides are like, manifest it. Manifest means to bring into form. Manifest it. You might be part of the team that's going to hold that vision, that's going to see what it looks like, and then you're going to attract all these young people, brilliant whippersnappers, right? That are growing up, those 20-year-olds, right? Those teenagers. And they're going to come to you and they're going to be like, great idea. Let's make it happen. They're going to get on the internet and make millions like that because they know how. Don't think that they don't. There are tons of people out there learning how to create your own resources. We're still working on teaching Kimberly that. She hasn't learned it yet. Call it in. Create it. That's what the Council of Light says. Does that answer the question?
Yes.
I would love to have med beds. Please create them so I can go sit in one and like stay long. I would like to stay for 300 years and then go back to wherever I go on the other side.
I don't know if you know who Emery Smith is, but he's been in one.
Emery Smith's been in one.
Yeah.
Let's create it.
He said he lost like 15 pounds.
Let's bring those out. Oh, I'm getting chills all over me. Let's bring those out into reality. Some of you have other ideas. I heard someone talking about changing the way we do nursing homes, changing the way we do healthcare. Kimberly's all about changing the way we do end of life. We are messed up, y'all, right now with that. I'm just saying, that was Kimberly jumping in. You have a question?
I just wanted, this is Dan real quick. Anybody online who wants to ask a question, put your hand up. Thank you.
I have brought my stupidity forward.
There's no stupid question, go for it.
Is the word you're using med bed? And if it is, what is it?
Would you like to please come share that with us?
I was talking to my husband and I didn't hear the question.
What is a med bed? Please share with us your understanding of a med bed.
You want me to talk into the mic?
Yeah, talk into the mic, please. I can visualize them because I've been on my, I call it my spaceship, and they put me in a med bed. But what is a med bed? Channel it in, you know you got it.
So all points in space-time are non-local, and you're a hologram, so anything in you can be out of you depending on your thought frequencies and your beliefs. So if you so a medbed is a physical device like the table. It exists, and the military has them. And they're supposed to be released to the general public, and I don't know when. I was hoping they would know. But you sit in one and the top closes over you, and then there is quantum flux that happens. It takes a while for it to scan you and delete the things that are, genetic anomalies or cancer or what have you. And my understanding from Emery Smith is that when he went through his, he lost like 15 pounds, but it took like a couple hours. And he always, his joke is like, where did that stuff go? Because it's not, he like got on the scale and it was, so yeah, they physically exist, and they're supposed to be released to the general public. I just don't know when. So anyway, but yeah.
My guides have an answer to your question.
Oh, great.
And take what you like, leave the rest. But this is what my guides tell me when it comes to manifesting, creating it into form. There is no time, so let go of when, because that's already been set up in the fifth dimension. You can also go fifth dimensionally in meditation and see if you can't line up with energies that will have that happen quicker. Only the biggest thing they say is let go of when. Because when you're in the when, you're in the it's not happening right now. And if you're in the it's not happening right now, what did the universe just provide you? It's not happening right now. Yeah, it happens often with Kimberly in a few areas of her life because she keeps going to when, how, who. And in the interdimensional energies of things, Susan Bradshaw would be the energy channeler that brought this into Kimberly, and we'll also back it up, is you've already determined in your interdimensional energies within yourself who, where, how. You can also shift that at any time in meditation by doing void meditation, so going into the void and then choosing the energies you want to be on. You can quantum reality shift. You can quantum leap if you would like to. Kimberly was in the car today going, oh, how do you know there's a quantum leap? There is something in her car that normally reacts a certain way. No one has tampered with this car, and it acts completely differently. And in the car on the way here, Kimberly said, I'm on a different timeline. There's little things that will show you the shift. There have been people that have quantum leaped to where lots of things have changed really big. But because the veil's lifted, when you quantum leap, expect the unexpected. Expect that things have changed. And notice them, acknowledge them, and then you know. Right? So bring it in by knowing it's already here, which you just encoded into us. Thank you for that. She just encoded for us that we already have this technology. So now we can imagine it everywhere. So as the medical system and the, I'm going to say it, big pharma and all that type of stuff, I'm not anti-pills and I am not anti-surgery, you guys. I'm not anti any of that stuff. It saved my dad's life. I got to keep him for like 10 years longer than I would have. And I'm pro energy medicine, right? So, wow, imagine what it would look like if we had that. And then more and more people have access to it. Just like the car, we have that, more and more people have access to it. Wow, what would happen if we had a completely different way of doing things politically here? What would it look like? What does it look like as more and more people wake up? Kimberly has been running a metaphysical group for years, and all of a sudden, all these people are waking up. And they're like, we don't want the psychic and mediumship practice, we want Starseeds. And I'm like, really? My guides are like, Starseeds. Talk about galactic. And then my tribe up there, and I think I'm crazy when I say this, but I'm gonna tell you my truth. They can't wait to come down here and hug me in person. And I'm like, you know, that'll be the day. I got to get to belief where I can believe that that'll actually happen. And then they're going to look at my current body and they're going to go, wow, you look weird. Because I usually have a really big head on that spaceship and like really big eyes and a little tiny mouth and little tiny hands and a little tiny body. I don't know what happened. I really enjoy human food, right? It's a way to stay safe too. Like, yeah. So let's create it. Now is the time. Let's create it. Let's create it together. And then hopefully you guys have, hopefully this has opened minds and been useful to you all. If it hasn't, we love you anyway. Because it doesn't have to. Any other questions? Are we out of time yet?
Yeah, Wilma has her hand up.
Okay.
Online.
It's like there's so many new code words that I just don't understand because it's a whole different language for me. So I've been writing things down, but there is a gap with what I wrote down because, like, I was still digesting the word starseed when you were already into like the next sentences, and so. I wrote down how because you gave like a sequence of how to get, I think, your knowledge, like my knowledge of what my star seed is.
Yes.
And what I wrote down are the words inspired, intention, asking inner self, and your intuition goes up. Trust my inner knowing.
Yes.
Are those all the stuff? Because I still have the how open. Like, because like I literally missed that part when I was still going. Now,
No,
what
that's
is
beautiful.
okay?
Yeah.
What is a starseed? Can you say that one more time? What a definition of a starseed is? Because like when it got to medbeds, I was like, I gotta find a rate this hand thing because if we don't define what we're talking about, then we're missing the whole point. Because I kept asking, what's a medbed? What's a medbed? And I had like go through, and then you're like distracted from the information. So if
So
I don't understand this starseed thing, can you define it one more time? And then
yes, so the
how?
question
And then the
is
how.
what is a starseed? And my guides are funny because they're like, there's a lot of different definitions out there. Kimberly's definition is that you are an energy being who's been in other systems, who has chosen to come into Earth to help with this shift in consciousness and vibration on the planet, with this massive shift in paradigm here on the planet, and that you have memories of having been in other star systems. When you start to wake up to those things, the tough part for intellectual piece of it is that with knowing means that you got to go in your right brain and check your inner knowing. And you will know in your knowing if you are a starseed, if you're on that track, if you're on galactic track. If you're not, know that there are starseeds here on the Earth that feel very different than everyone else, have felt different since childhood, that have come in with this knowing. I interacted with galactic beings when I was little, but I had chosen a family of what I jokingly call muggles, right? If you know the Harry Potter series. And yet it is you in Earth, and for creating here on Earth, you intend or ask, automatically you receive. Know that in the background energetically. When you get quiet enough after asking, you receive intuition, or spirit speaks through everything. So Kimberly would come across a YouTube and it would resonate. Or someone would mention a book, or she would meet someone, or someone would give her some kind of reading and be like, wow, you got Pleiadian in you. Or like Tom said, I am activated into Blue Star Celestial Energy. Blue Star Celestial Energy is for people that are intuitively in their knowing that that's for them. And it is definitely galactic track for Kimberly and for a lot of the people that are activated into it. Now you can activate into Blue Star Celestial Energy if you are a Reiki master. It's a different track, and yet the Blue Star will support. But a star seed, I also looked up a definition because I knew I was with an intellectual crowd and I left it at home, right? And it's really those energies that were born onto the earth to be here to assist, and they're bringing in those galactic energies that are ET. I know some that have come in from different systems. Ella Malloy knows one of them, and she looked in their energy, and it's not the same as everyone else here, their energy system. Kimberly has met hybrids. I know someone that is part Pleiadian physically and part human. She's got bigger eyes, and she can stare at the sun in the middle of, middle of the day without it bothering her eyes. It's just different things like that, right? There are walk-ins that are coming in. So there's a lot of terminology you're not going to know. This is an overview, right? Kimberly looked up on AI on Google, and it actually had a good answer for Starseeds, right? And yet Starseed to Kimberly is those of us who are choosing the galactic track, those of us who have always felt like we're kind of don't fit in here in a lot of ways. Human beings don't make sense to me in a lot of ways. And I know that from a lot of my human friends. I have some beautiful human friends that are on human track, and they're wonderful, and they're part of the shift on the planet in a different way. But with Starseed, you're going to resonate with having been from other systems, other planets, that like ET type of stuff. You're going to resonate with that. You're going to know it. And so it's following your energy line and your energy discernment, right? Does that answer it? Okay, I know.
A little bit, it also brings up more questions.
Absolutely. It brings up more questions, and the Council of Light says, go within and find the answers.
So
Don't seek outside of you. Go within, find the answers. That's where the answers are. They're deep within you. Because anyone that Kimberly activates, she's activating something that's already in you. When I do healings, I see your wholeness. Right?
I feel that that I let a lot of dark in. And so how do you deal with that then to get rid of that?
Yes, so that's a whole other talk, isn't it? How to work with the shadow and how to work with the denser, darker energies. My galactic fleet of light and my council of light say your best protection is your vibration and frequency. If there's darkness, if there's density, look in your subconscious for where you're giving that permission. Take your power back. Shift your energy if you have resentment. If you're in the blame, victim, shame, guilt, those are all denser energies. There was a book, what is it? The Power of Something. He talked about the different vibration and frequencies. Abraham Hicks talks about it. If you are living in the denser frequencies, you're going to attract denser frequencies. If you go into higher vibration, you are not going to attract that. And if it comes up, like we said, you have a choice. You can choose like Kimberly did. I had a lot of dealings in some of my past lives with what I call the Draco Galaxy. They're not my favorite bunch of people. or favorite bunch of aliens, whatever you want to call them. And I went up to their ship inside of myself energetically, and I said, go away. You're not welcome here. Because I took my power back. Did I have assistance? In a lot of ways I did. There are lots of people out there who are galactic healers, who are energy healers, who are quantum healers, who can assist with that. I have friends that do that shadow energy. Kimberly does more activations and kind of clearing out some of your past life stuff and some of your, kind of past stuff from this lifetime, and every once in a while some other stuff. But the really dense stuff on this earth, there are people that are charged in doing that here, and they can assist. And I do call on them from time to time, and I'm like, what is that? And they'll say, don't mess with it, I'll get it. Right? So it depends on how you're playing the game. Right? For my friend David, he'll just see it and pluck it away. For my friend Chrissy, they hide from her. Let's put it that way. They hide from her because they know she can just look at them and dissipate them. So it depends on who you are. But watch your own vibration and frequency. Kimberly comes from a long line of trauma. She chose to come in and experience, I know that sounds crazy to some people, a lot of trauma. That came with a lot of density, a lot of darkness, and a lot of stuff that Kimberly has to go remove, release, rewrite, reprogram. Still working on it, right? Some of it, to get back to what you really are, which is whole and complete. And if you're a starseed, you've come in with a natural high vibration and frequency. And if you listen to Lori Ladd's new book, which I can't remember the name of it, as usual, right? You go into my right brain, and left brain stuff doesn't show up that easily. Left brain is the thinking mind, the scientific piece. I am a scientist in a lot of ways. She writes about how the earth was created and how you can use energy discernment, and that your best defense is your own vibration. Now you can create energies with angels and archangels that can support you. You can work with the Galactic Fleet of Light. You can work with the Council of Light. You can work with whatever spirit team you have to assist you. That's why it's there. In oneness energy, that is you. You created that for yourself. In 3D version, there's spirit team and spirit guides and angels that are there to assist. And you can get the help.
What
Right.
is Lori Lath's right spelling of her last name? If you don't know the title of the book,
I can tell you her name. It's Lorie.
Thank
The
you.
last name is Ladd.
Ladd.
And she has 2 books out, and this one is very much about energy and the creation of the earth, and she channels in the Galactic Federation of Light.
Well, and the interesting thing is that I asked, so I will get an answer. It does not have to come from you. So
Yes, you
thank you.
ask and
Thank you
it'll
with
come.
this lecture that you helped me understand that. It doesn't have, there's no time in God. So, or you could say God's timing is perfect. Either way, I asked, so I will get an answer.
You will get an answer even if it pops up on YouTube, or it shows up on the radio and you hear it, or anyone that has that. Lee Carroll had this. You're in the shower and all of a sudden it comes to you, right?
Well, thank you for facilitating this, because you opened a whole lot of doors. And my name is Wilma. And I always say when people go, what, Wilma? I say, yeah, Fred Flintstones.
The Wilma.
I open doors.
Thank you, Wilma, for your questions. There are no bad questions because someone else in the room or online or listening later is thinking the same question. Are we done?
No, we're not done.
Okay.
We have another 20 minutes.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, well, the council is
Right.
ready to answer questions.
Is there someone online?
They went short,
Okay,
didn't
there's
they?
someone else online who wants to ask a question. Then I'll have a question myself.
We're gonna
All
get
right.
Kimberly out of the
There's a
way
hand
again.
raised up there.
Yeah, so, Elishima,
Yes.
Hi, Joy.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good. So a friend of mine is on here. We were talking, and wondering if there is some clarity around if we feel like we might be on, if one might be on multiple tracks as well.
And you can be on multiple tracks. When the Council of Light brings into human understanding words, labels, all of those things, it's really dumbing down intricate energy systems. So understand that it is just a framework for human beings who are thinking like humans to wrap their mind around. The Council of Light says, and so does Cryon, don't think like a human, think in terms of energy. Kimberly works with angels and archangels, fairies, Pleiadians, Syrians, Arcturians, Lyris, probably more. Andromeda Galaxy, let's not leave them out. Right? Andromedans and Andromeda Galaxy, and then I'm also a wanderer, so it's beyond that. Only if you ask me questions about what's beyond what is knowable to humans, I have no words. I might be able to telepathically ask you to connect with me energetically and receive information in that way. But yes, you can be on multiple tracks. You can be on human and angelic, right?
Thank you.
Your shaman, we left that out, like shaman working with the earth. Extremely important work that is happening here on the earth is working with earth, working with the middle earth, working with the energies. Remember that it's interdimensional. There are people that can see all levels of interdimensional while they're here on earth. They're the ones that see spirit. They're the ones that see fairies, right? Interdimensional. Does that answer it?
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. I love to call her by her middle name, Joy, because she carries a joy energy with her.
Thank you for being here. I have been blessed and cursed all my life to know that I was, even though I'm not new to Earth, that I've been, it's been like a pet project of mine at the soul level for a couple of billion years that I know of.
Yeah.
And come here from many other places. I remember as a child when I was 5 or 6, my dad and I used to go and look at the stars all the time, and I would weird him out by telling him I have other homes up there, you know. And
We get in trouble for that, right? Yeah. There's more to this.
I'm in it, and he knew I meant it, and it was very bothersome to him.
Yeah.
I remember my first day at kindergarten. My dad was dropping me off. We got to the playground where the kids were gathered, and it was in a very solemn tone. He extended his hand to shake hands and said, "Well, this is it, son." And so I looked out in the playground, and I was really just marveling at it, as if I were a visitor from another planet. All these kids who had never met before 10 minutes earlier, you know, were out there running around and jumping on the jungle gym and on the swings and on the sliding board and I was thinking, how did they do that? But I had no idea.
Welcome to being a Starseed.
Right. But so you know, I really remembered orientation more other places than here as a child.
Yeah.
And I say it's been a blessing, and it also, you know, created its own degree of challenges. So I just bring that up. What I really want to ask about from the standpoint of the Council of Light, there's much in these various communities these days about all of reality being a simulation and so forth, and a lot of the people that promote that idea promote it as if it were a sort of an extension of the Gnostic concept or the Platonic concept of the demiurge, where there's this phony world that we're in, but there's a real world that's like it, that's behind it and so forth, where instead of being just being like the holodeck, you know, where there isn't any other world other than that which we're projecting, but we are projecting it by consensus reality, by agreement, you know. I would just be curious to know what the council would say about that.
Kimberly's stepping aside, so we are the Council of Light. In that, remember always that everyone is creating realities that are their own realities. And so everyone creates different collective consciousnesses together. There are a group of collective consciousnesses who really believe that. And there's no argument to it when that is the belief that they have. They've created that for themselves. So remember, you create everything. You've created that. And so then there's other collective consciousnesses that really have more of an understanding of everything being energy. And so if there is another set of form, it's something that has been created from the energy into form. Just like creating, Kimberly knows beings, human beings, who have been planet creators and planet destroyers. And in the destroying of planet, you know, as their human 3D self, it's very disturbing to them when they see that they've done that, right? But if you go into, and guides are like, watch your words, Kim. And if you go into the oneness energies, you see it from a different vantage point depending on your consciousness level. If you're in a consciousness level of understanding of everything being energy, then you create and you can uncreate. So it's creating and it's uncreating is what's actually happening. That's a little different than if you've been in the Star Wars. So if you were, Kimberly has a friend that's galactic that has never been in that system. She doesn't have the words or understanding unless she watches the movie Star Wars, right? And yet Kimberly has full-on memories of being in fighter pilots, of being a Jedi Knight in a way, of being part of the Resistance and Orion and things like that. That's a galactic track story. And so with the Earth, it's what are you creating here? And did you know that the way that the Earth is set up, that we can all live in the same energy system? Think of energy system. Those of you that want to step out of human thinking into energy thinking, human system of Earth, and you can create many different storylines within the system. Which one are you in alignment with? Right? You can uncreate and create a new alignment. You can stay in the same alignment. There's free will on Earth. Did you know this is 100% free will here? But what do we mean by free will, right?
Autonomy.
Yeah, autonomy, sovereignty, right? Authenticity. Kimberly has friends that believes that above love, joy, ascension, all that stuff is authenticity. Fully in alignment with your own energy. So you start speaking in terms of, oh, that's really great. I'm not really in alignment with that. I'm in alignment with this. Well, that's great that you're in alignment with that. I'm going to be over here in alignment with this. It's just alignment. And then you watch in your life where you're like, wow, why do I feel like I need to not be with these people anymore? It's not personal. It's energy. It's energy alignment. I'm in alignment with or I'm not.
You're not on their wavelength.
It's a different frequency. It's a different wavelength. It's a different channel on the radio. That's all it is.
So it sounds to me like you're saying that all there is mind.
Oh my God, it's
Because-
so
be-
funny.
because
Define
whatever-
mind.
Whatever it is that you believe, you're creating in mind.
Yeah, so consciousness energy. So mind depends on the definition. If you're talking about the consciousness energy, and on Earth, it works differently in some systems, but on Earth, you have thoughts that you think often, and that's what you're creating for yourself. Some of those you have often, and Kimberly, as much as she resists it, came in knowing that she was going to be public speaking in some way. And so as a child, mind created the big grizzly bear's here with his glasses on, and he has a whole bunch of other stuffed animals in front of him. And what is he doing? He is teaching, he is speaking, he is activating. Created into where we are now. Now, a lot of us have come in with that said, if you don't mind, they're going a little further, as usual. That you also came into a collective consciousness and learned a lot of thoughts. Anyone that has watched TV has learned a lot of thoughts. And so that's what we're clearing now, is to come into what really resonates with you personally. There is the collective consciousness, and there is the personal free will choice of the consciousness I'm in. But yes, on Earth we are creating. We have collective consciousnesses we create with. When Bashar brings through information from the future, Council of Light is stepping in with this one. We bring in the idea that you can choose what collective consciousness you want to be in alignment with. If you feel into energetically, feel, sense, see, know, experience on the back of your head, about here, energetically, the energy that connects you to collective consciousness. You can choose to unplug from the one you're currently in and plug into the one that's the highest and best energy that is meant for you. The forewarning is a lot of people on Earth that are not going to be in alignment with that. If you're a forerunner, if you're a starseed,
No kidding.
they start singing a song to Kimberly, Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care, because it's energy. I'm just going to be me, and I am going to bring these energies in, and you will see that out in the world now. I am just going to be me. You can be in alignment with it or not, and I'm okay with that. And if you're not okay with that, that's your shadow stuff coming up, and it's not mine. That is yours. Does that make sense? So learning how to own your own energy, learning how to clear your energy. And yes, there are lots and lots and lots of help out there. So when you ask, you receive, and the people come into your life. Kimberly came here to Richmond, not sure why she was in Richmond, met Ellen Malloy, got introduced to Ethereal TV, got to go on Angel with Reiki's retreat, receiving all this stuff that Kimberly was like, whoa, slow down, guys, right? And yet, yes, is it mind? It's not the logical thinking mind energy created for humans. That has a beautiful purpose here on Earth. It helps Kimberly bring words to you that you may or may not be able to understand. It helps her write. Sometimes when she's using it, it helps her run a business, but she's usually looking for other really logic-minded people to help her with that. Does that make sense? There's a certain part of mind that can also have, you watch her correct words. We are going to change the way we speak to each other. We're going to change the way we think. We're going to create brand new. Consciousness is way more than just the thinking mind. It's if you feel into it, it's outside of the body.
Yeah, that's what I meant by mind. I don't mean your brain.
Thank you.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
brain.
so
I'm saying
mind-
mind.
Yeah. So beyond, there are no human words for it, because once you start to humanize anything, then it is no longer as vast, infinite, unlimited as it is. Infinity times infinity. Wrap human mind around that. Infinity times infinity. Right? And yet Earth was created from thought, so to speak. That's the way humans can wrap their mind around it. Earth was created. Earth then had other things created for her so that she could play this game. She's a sentient being in a different way than we are. That's why we love her so much, and we thank her for allowing us to be here. Right? Does that answer it?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, and then beyond that is like, what do you think the Council of Light will say? Go within, ask and see what you receive, and please, if you get answers, bring that out into the world. Bring it out. And if you can scientifically prove any of this, please do it. Right?
I would say too, consciousness is like the ocean we're swimming in. So
Yeah.
ask a fish about the ocean, you won't get much of an answer.
Yeah, it's like, what is water?
Right.
And I'm a fish. What is water? Or when I was water, like trying to wrap my mind around it, I am a droplet of water. And I want to know what is water. Right? Yeah.
One more
Thank you.
question.
So scientifically, to your point, one of the things I'm studying is to implement neurofeedback. And so if people are in a lot of theta, it's easy for them to be in a dorsal state. It happens a lot with people who have ADHD. If people,
Remind us theta.
theta is like, okay,
7 hertz.
there you go.
7 hertz.
What he said.
3.5 to 7 hertz.
3.5 to 7 hertz
Yeah.
frequency is theta in the mind.
And
Right.
dorsal state is like, you know, the deer in headlights kind of freeze brain. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so. We were talking about sort of good and evil. When people are overstimulated by Earth School, they get in a dorsal state. Or they'll go into fight mode, which is high beta. And low beta is like curious calm. Ra talks about, and I think it's in book 1, they, Ra, are not, they don't love the 10 Commandments, for example, because it's binary. Do this, don't do that. And they feel like it infringes upon free will. One of the reasons they want us to meditate is because it puts us in an alpha state. We're receptive, we're calm, and we're able to use our receiver dish, if you will, you know, the crown chakra and the ajna, to
Yes.
understand and comprehend and not be flooded and overwhelmed and put into a dorsal state where you're just making too much theta and you're like, you know. So another way to put that is there is no right or wrong.
Yes.
There's only love and the absence of love.
Yeah. And it's not love and fear, it's love and the absence of love. Thank you for that. I'm like, can I bring you everywhere? We're going to team up. I'm going to do the right brain and then I'm going to go, here's the left brain answer to all of that. Yes.
Hi, I have a question.
Okay.
My name is Suzanne.
Hi,
I wrote it-
Suzanne.
Hi, I've been holding on to this. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. Came to me this morning. I surrender to stupid questions as a portal to the wisdom of the universe. So I'm about to ask stupid questions, but there are no stupid questions.
Please ask stupid questions that lead us to the portal of the universe.
Well, we'll see. So so we said there is really no time.
There is no time.
I have free will.
I have free will.
And
There is time on Earth. We created the linear time-space reality.
Okay, well, maybe that'll be a
So
factor.
this will answer it. This is what the Council of Light is handing you, and then we'll take more questions. Is you are both interdimensional and multidimensional.
Yes.
Multidimensional, there is no time.
Okay.
Interdimensional, all the way to like fifth dimensional consciousness
Yes,
before you come into Earth. When you get into 4D and 3D, it collapses. There is time.
Got it. So
When you live fifth dimensional consciousness in a 4D plane, you have an appreciation for time. Kimberly was afraid she was going to be late, stopped looking at the clock and said, get me there on time. I was 10 minutes early,
nice.
right?
Okay.
Because I asked.
5D.
Yeah. But if you're living in 3D, 4D, which a lot of us are going to do together, I mean, how else are we going to schedule that? Although I find that my team is like, you have an appointment in 2 minutes, right? And I'm like, oh, get on the computer, right? Does that answer that?
Well, I hadn't asked my question yet.
Go ask the question. Sorry.
It's okay. You have all the time.
No.
When I'm channeling, the Council of Light comes in and they're like, we picked up on this behind the scenes. We're going to answer that first, and then yes, please.
No, that's what I'm actually finding. So this might be another kind of both and thing, but
Please.
I choose to follow what I feel is resonant. Now, I may not always feel what is resonant. What do I mean to? Do I mean in 3D or 5D? But here's my question. Am I remembering or am I choosing? You know, like Galactic, Council of Light. I mean, like they all sound cool, but you know, I might think that these people over here who feel more aligned with something that resonates with my heart right now. So, whoop, can I just like jump over there?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then this is my last question. Could this Starseed thing, could that be a trauma response? I have wondered. Does that make sense? I can
So let's start with the first question
Okay.
and then go to, is
Okay.
it a trauma response? So with the first question, did you guys notice how the question was answered before it was asked? Right? So you receive the answer, and the answer is it's both and,
Thank you. Okay.
right? It's both
cool.
and.
Okay.
So if I've been in another system, then I'm waking up to the memories of what was in that system. I've been to Sirius. I have worked with a mentor there that was a memory of that system, and I've brought those energies in when I heal people,
Nice.
when I'm seeing their wholeness, right? And I have a choice if I'm going to do that or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I said to my friend, I only see light in my history. If I'm oneness, how come I don't see any of the like darker energies that I might have been in? And she said, because you chose the codes you wanted to come in with. If you're holding the light, what codes did you bring? Light codes. Yeah. My friend Chrissy, she remembers some of her denser energies that she played in. Why? Because she had to clear some stuff out. She had to stay in the light, and then she goes in and clears that stuff for us so we can be on a higher, we call it higher. It's more of a lighter. Think of light.
So I can kind of choose what to remember in
Yeah.
a way.
And I can pick and choose. And then my guides tell me all the time, because I hold love and light, you are so dearly loved. You have no idea how dearly loved you are. You're working towards embracing and embodying that divine love within you, right? And then you get to choose. You could choose like Kimberly's highlight grandmother did, and she did not learn a thing while she was here. She just played the antagonist for Kimberly on that timeline way over there. What timeline am I on with my grandmother now? She comes in through mediumship. She is my really awesome grandmother. I am her mini-me. We are very similar. She showed me the way. She brought the path in. She accepted us as kids. When we fell in the flowers in the garden, she went, kids will be kids. That is not what happened on that first timeline. Right? You can shift. Kimberly doesn't point at that one very often, because if you talk about, bring in, repeat, put words to things, you bring that energy back in.
Wow.
So that is the reason why it's very unnerving for humans. Why would I not talk about that thing? Well, sometimes it's appropriate to talk about that thing. If you're doing shadow work and you're clearing stuff out, sometimes you want to look at it. You might be charged with feeling it to heal it and, re-experience that type of stuff, right? And then you let it go. When you quantum shift into a new identity, you're going to stand in the new identity. Do not pick up that stuff from the past. You're in the new identity. We say that again to Kimberly. You're in the new identity. Stop picking the other stuff up. Right?
Yeah.
And then the question of trauma, right?
Did that make sense? The trauma question?
That is being a starseed trauma. Their answer is a big no.
Okay.
And yet, can you as a starseed have a lot of trauma? Kimberly will describe hers, right? As a child, I was highly sensitive. I feel everything. I globally feel everything. Came into a household of very dense energy on purpose and developed a lot of what we would call trauma. I didn't understand humans in any way whatsoever, so I would watch things happen that were very abusive toward children, or two people fighting because one's a darker color than the other from a different culture. And Kimberly would stand there and think, this doesn't have to be. Why? Because a starseed's gonna see compassion, collaboration, I don't understand. It doesn't compute, not my energy. Goes to the adults who are indoctrined in their trauma and doesn't get heard or understood or nurtured. So what are we clearing? All of that. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the energy that you truly are is what you find when you tap into the true self and the true energies. And you start to unpack the codes. The other code for Kimberly was, I call them, I love to think of computer as analogy, right? Then the programming, and that it is for Kimberly a holodeck, that you come in from energy and then you join this holodeck and you see children go like this. Wow. Wow, right? And then they're seeing more than you because they're like fairies, right? And then for me, I spoke with worms, I spoke with bugs, I spoke with trees, I spoke with flowers, I spoke with spirit. I didn't understand why people were telling me I had such a great imagination. Because for me, it was real, right?
Yeah.
So you come in wide open. And then when you clear that, you come into your true self. And then you start standing in that energy. And I know a couple people here that really stand in that energy often. They're in that energy often. Quite a few of you, right? We might slip a little. One of the programs that I mentioned was like control to stay safe. You don't need to control anything to stay safe. You're safe when you're contained in your own energy and when you're creating safe in your environment, right? Kimberly doesn't have any of that mess anymore and hasn't. So when other people say that stuff's going on, she's like, where? So she's in the Walmart with someone who wasn't in the same energy, and he's pointing all this stuff out, and she's going, where? I don't see it. Because it's not in my vision. But I can't get him to see through my eyes.
Thank you. I think you may
Does
have.
that answer it?
Yes, I think you may have unlocked a memory because I was open to be unlocked. So I appreciate that.
You're
Thank
welcome.
You. All right.
Last one. For real.
Hi, love.
Hi, dear. Kimberly, what I have to ask is about something that happened to me personally. And so I can ask you afterward.
You have my phone
Because
number.
it-
We can talk.
Okay, why don't we do that?
Let's
Because
do
it's
that.
pushing, it's probably after 12 right now, and
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody else would like to
Yeah.
have a bite to eat and talk to you.
She's a good friend of mine, but if anyone would like a session, sharingloveandlightshow.com, right? You can also email me, Kimberly, sharingloveandlight@gmail.com. Just throw it out there. Thank you.
This has been great. Thank you very much.
I'm like, and don't shoot the
This is an
messenger.
emotional experience for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I was stepping out of that caring what everyone else thinks of me, that coding that you have to be perfect to be a
Be over
leader.
in the camera here, I guess.
Oh, so that was challenging for me. My galactic light said that I'm going to answer questions, and I said I'm going to do what, right?
And you kept on saying,
well.
is the time up yet?
Is the time up yet? Is the time up yet? Right? And so the other code is, I have to be perfect in order to be a leader, and that's not true. You can be a mess and
Absolutely
be a
not
leader.
true. Absolutely not true. You were
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to close with a passage from one of my favorite books by Isabel's and my friend Elia Wise. In order to fly, you have to give up the ground you are standing on. Humanity conceived of quantum leaps in order to prepare itself to make them. When it does, when leaping becomes a preferred alternative to walking the linear path or repeating the circle, humankind will be one leap from flying. The process is important to the whole of the universe. The amplitudes of consciousness that unify all states of being and give a being in any one system of reality access to all others live within the leap. So thank you very much, Kimberly. That was a wonderful, wonderful presentation. Well, I want to thank the Council of Light, thank Cryon, and I think there might have been one or two others you brought in too. I'm not sure. Right, right. Next month, we're going to have Sarah Norton, who is a depth psychologist and dream interpreter. It's going to be a great program. Also, I failed to mention for those who are online, our website is back up, so we do have an online. The donation button is not working. Oh, Carol is nodding her head in the negative. We're still having some issues with the PayPal function on the online, but for those who are online and would like to make a love offering, we're working on it. So keep your intentions in that vein, and we'll let you know when you can make the online contribution. I think that's all for today, is it not? Dan, you have anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, guys, thanks a lot for coming. We appreciate it. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.